Perfect. So I'll make one quick check if that does the. Are you still? Am I still sharing? Hopefully,
Yep.
should be working. Okay. Well, also from my side, thank you for everyone who participated and joined. We have more than 30 people. That is actually really, really good. I will really just go through and talk a little bit what I hope we can get out of this workshop in its changed form. And as Nick said very nicely, let's try to make the best out of it, and also let's be responsive. If something isn't working well, then I think we should be an agile enough community to react to this. So in that sense, I'd rather like just to go quickly through the agenda and then say what we sort of planned for each day. It's quite obvious, but a little bit of walkthrough I think would help. First of all, this is just one contextual slide in some sense, with the project map of ACTS. So what would we like to do is to, in a mission statement, to create a toolbox that has like a good set of tracking tools that can be either used as drop-in replacements or as tools to glue into your experiment code. By that, open it up. That was the idea for a bigger community coming initially from Atlas. I think now we can see it's really already carried by way broader shoulders. That was a good move. What we wanted to do there, and second, as a second branch, also support R&D projects that may be in machine learning or accelerated code, etc., etc. That when matured enough, we feed them back into the project, and they become available to the experiments. Nutshell view, a bit simplistic, but at the end, that should give us somewhat a project roadmap. Now, the workshop roadmap is a little different. As Heather said, we are recording this introductory session. I think that's also quite good because we have a lot of information, and a lot of new stuff has happened since the last workshop. So it's a real good checkpoint where we are. And then we have a tutorial-oriented session tomorrow, and then 2 developers discussion slots for Wednesday and Thursday. I'll go to that a little bit in more detail, and then a basically closeout session, which will be shorter on Friday, which is more a what have we learned and can we distill some project out of that. Be aware that in the beginning of each day we have reserved some time. This is half an hour in the agenda, but I don't think we'll have to be to either fulfill the half an hour, or if we need 5 minutes more, that should not be a problem. We have a Q&A session planned. Basically, when you look through the stuff today, or you hadn't chance to join, and you tried out the tutorial and you didn't understand anything, or you just want to bring something up, we would like to start with that in order to also stimulate a little bit that we have that we have a developers workshop that is based on discussing what we would like to do as a project. Now, please use the live notes, which are the second version. I apologize, Heather, that is not the original live notes. They are linked in there and available from the project webpage. And the contributions of today are already in. They should be editable for everyone, so you can just go and type your comment there, potentially, or best with your name, so that we practically can capture the discussions that would otherwise be ongoing. Now, for today, Xiaokong will give an overview what's in the toolbox, basically. Where are we with the project? It's an extended version of her talk at Connecting the Dots. Then Moritz and myself have prepared the first part on the new algorithm and machine learning R&D, and Georgiana will show the ongoing activities on what has been tried with accelerators and intra event parallelism. And then we'll have the floor open to basically experience or wish list from experiments. Where are we with the Atlas deployment? What's there for Bell 2? What do we need? As Phoenix has shown already, some use, but not yet a full deployment. There's also, I think, experience and wish list on the table, and I think similarly for CAPC and Phaser. And we will try to keep on time today to finish at 6:30. It's also conference LHCP conference week, so I think a lot of people are quite overloaded in their agendas. Now, for the tutorials on Tuesday, there is more and more material appearing. There is pre-recorded tutorials, which are little movies, basically just showing how to do a few things. We will go through them tomorrow, but then also have some chance of discussing. And as just found out before, the markdown links I have put in are only accessible for people with CERN credentials. So I will update in the evening that appropriately. And then we go through, and you should be learning. You can learn how to basically run the simple examples, build a geometry, look at it, run propagation, and then gets more and more complicated along the way. Moritz is in the gist of finishing the instructions to run. If you have access to LX Plus, it's practically only sourcing and compiling if you want to do that, but we'll also have a container option available. And then for Wednesday, on Thursday, we try to be more developers hands-on workshop, however, without the actual hands-on in doing some hackathon, but really going through packages we still have, where we still have a roadmap ahead to fill. This is not yet complete. So if you have something that you said this is really missing for me in the project in terms of core development, then Wednesday would be the day to discuss this. There is an example linked in of such a of the geometry work package, where basically it says these are the things which at least are on the list to be done to complete this, to make a feature completion. And similarly for Thursday, we would like to open that up a little bit more into R&D. Not so much, doesn't have to be so much focused on the core module, but if you want we want to discuss how to interact with heterogeneous code. We have now one example with CUDA implemented, or how do we include ML libraries, etc. I think that there's a lot of discussion. We will pre-structure that a little bit, of course. And finally, for Friday, apart from the Q&A session, there will be just a rather short closeout, I think, where we should try to summarize what we discussed during Wednesday and Thursday and define some follow-ups. And that's my introduction.
Great, thanks, Andy. Any questions?